The Flash has had a lot of villains who are innately pretty dumb in his canon, despite giving him a run for his money occasionally. And even though a lot of these characters have been developed over the years, some have some pretty ridiculous origin stories that are just flat out dumb. And sorry in advance guys, because we're about to make fun of a whole lot of rogues. Let's jump right in. And at 10 we've got Gorilla Grodd. Guys, he's a gorilla. Yes, a complete total evil genius who's actually a pretty decent competition for the Flash, but come on, a gorilla. So Gorilla Grodd was just a regular ape until an alien spacecraft crashed into his home somewhere in Africa. He developed telepathic and telekinetic powers, and along with the other gorillas affected by the crash, he ends up building a super advanced city called Gorilla City. Wait a sec, guys, why does this sound familiar? And at 9 is Pied Piper. Here's a villain who wields a flute with hypnotic powers. Okay, before you guys get angry over this one, let's just chat about his origin story. Harley Rathaway was born deaf, but got outfitted with some fancy hearing implants. All good and well, except he became obsessed with sound, and eventually learned how to use hypnotism through music, along with creating deadly sound vibrations. Which is pretty cool. Except he's like, what should my alias be? Why not a mildly creepy children's story character? Yeah. Up next at number 8, Tar Pit. First off, dumb name. Second, this villain had so much potential but screwed it up. Alright, so Tar Pit is a dude named Joey Monteleone, who ended up in jail after helping his brother with drug trafficking, which is where he realized he had the ability to astral project, until his astral projection got stuck in a vat of tar. So he's like, screw it, abandons his old body, which then falls into a coma, and starts running around in his new tar body. And what does he do for his first crime? Well, he decides to steal the Stanley Cup. Also, he's tar. He throws flaming chunks of tar at his enemies. That's just kind of dumb. And at 7 we have Captain Boomerang. I'm really sorry guys, but I've always thought Captain Boomerang was kinda lame. He's gotten cooler over the last several decades, but let's take a look at his origin, and his first appearance in December 1960. From Australia, George Harkness had a skill for making boomerangs, cause that's not a stereotype at all, and he was hired by a toy company to perform at events promoting boomerangs. Of course, the crowds made fun of him, so naturally he turned to a life of crime. But he did almost kill the Flash by knocking him out with a boomerang, so there's that. And at 6 we've got the Trickster. Now the Trickster has had a few incarnations, but for the purpose of this video we'll be focusing on James Jesse. Creative name guys. While he's actually a skilled acrobat and con artist, Jesse makes this list for his choice in gadgets he uses against the Flash. The Trickster likes to use items like explosive teddy bears, itching powder, potato head bombs, exploding rubber chickens, and hard shell candy. Dental problems. The real evil friends. And if that doesn't sell you on his silliness, take a look at this.
Hey partner, got a match? Oh, left him in my other suit. Oh. No problemo.
Don't worry, we still love you, Mark Hamill. And at 5, we've got Colonel COMPUTRON. Oh, another product of the Silver Age, of course. Meet Colonel COMPUTRON, a toy maker gone rogue who wanted revenge on his boss at the toy company he worked at, since he wasn't getting credit for any of his inventions. So he puts on this outfit, which seems so impractical, and the Flash has to take him on. Don't worry, because COMPUTRON throws a bunch of silly video game gimmicks at him, including trapping him inside of a video game. One can see why this character didn't have much longevity. And at number 4 is the Turtle. This one mainly makes the list because A, he's a supervillain whose power is being slow, which is dumb, and B, because making that slow supervillain an opponent of the Flash is super dumb. So back in an issue in 1956, the Turtle robs a bank, somehow, and then ends up escaping by a boat. The Flash chases after him, runs across water to do so, and then realizes that his momentum is pushing the boat away from him. So eventually he just runs around the boat and then ends up creating a vortex which the Turtle flies out of, and the Flash catches him in his arms. How cute.
But am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
And at 3 is Psychon. So Psychon is actually a criminal named William Dawson, whose body was taken over by Gorilla Grodd. So why is he a dumb villain? Well, in the Flash 115, he uses a special ray gun that causes the Flash's body to absorb moisture from the air, making him 1,000 pounds, and then causing him to sit in a room of potatoes, aka the dehydration room, in order to drop all that weight, because I guess potatoes suck up moisture. And look at his sweet grumpy face while he does it, what a cutie pie. Arguably any villain that makes me refer to Fat Flash as a cutie pie is clearly dumb as Yes, Gorilla Grodd was controlling his body, but come on, that's still pretty lame of Dawson. And at 2 we have the Top. This is a villain who likes spinning tops. So much so that that's what he made his alias. So what does he do? Oh, I don't know, I guess I'll just make my whole supervillain identity a spinning top. So he teaches himself how to spin real fast in order to deflect bullets. So I guess dizziness is just not a thing for this guy. He then goes on to threaten the world with a giant atomic top, so he blackmails the world, because that makes perfect sense, and then traps the Flash inside of the top. Flash vibrates gets out of it, which causes the top some pretty bad brain damage, making him terminally ill. Dark. And at number 1 is Rainbow Raider, aka Roy G. Bigelow. Here we have a villain whose name is based off of Roy G. Biv. What is he capable of? Well, he dresses up as a walking rainbow. He also wears special goggles that allow projection of hard light rainbows that he can use for travel or as an offensive attack. And his origin story makes it even worse. He's a failed artist, mainly because he was going colorblind and would paint pieces of art that he thought were masterpieces, but really just had a lot of clashing colors. His dad was an optometrist and invented those color goggles, but then he dies. So Rainbow Raider decides to go on a crime spree targeting galleries because he just can't cope with his artistic rejection. You know, instead of using those goggles to be good at art, I guess. There you have it, guys, the dumbest Flash villains. Any that we missed? Let us know in those comments below. And don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons on your way out. I've been Kelly Pally for Top 10 Nerd, and I will catch you guys in the next one.